Namaste, my dear Hindu brothers and sisters. Today, I want to talk about something that has been bothering me for a long time. Something subtle but powerful. How we, in Bharat, have slowly embraced what the West told us was decent and rejected what the West told us was vulgar, especially when it comes to what we wear, especially when it comes to the female body. Somehow, we accepted their categories, their anxieties, their discomfort, and we projected it backward onto our own civilization. When many people today see a sleeveless or strapless Apsara style blouse, they assume one thing: sexualization. Exposure equals immodesty, visibility equals provocation. That assumption feels natural, obvious, automatic, but it is not universal. It is not ancient. It is Victorian, and it is historically recent. Pre modern Bharat did not interpret the body this way. To understand this, we must step outside modern categories and return to older ones. Rasa, Shringara, Saundarya, Mangala. These are civilizational concepts. They are not the language of shame. They are not the language of repression. They are the language of aesthetic philosophy. And until we recover those categories, we will continue misunderstanding ourselves. The Natya Shastra of Bharat Muni declares, Vibhavanubhava Vyabhichari Samyogad Rasa Nispatti. Rasa arises from emotional determinants, from expression, from aesthetic unity, not from obscenity, not from vulgarity. In chapters 23 and 24, Bharat Muni describes Aharya Bhinaya, costume as expressive language. Female performers are adorned with Stanabhushana, Katisutra, ornamental drapery. The torso is part of visual geometry. It communicates movement, emotion, grace. The intention is art, not titillation. Shringara is called the Rasaraja, the king of aesthetic moods. It comes from Shringa, adornment, refinement, harmonized attraction. It does not mean commercial sexuality. It does not mean voyeuristic consumption. It means beauty within order. This distinction is foundational. Modern categories collapse it. Classical theory did not. Across temple architecture, female figures stand bare-chested or minimally draped, not hidden, not censored, carved into sacred walls. The Shilpa Shastras describe breasts as Purna Kumbha, full auspicious vessels, symbols of fertility, abundance, nourishment, agrarian metaphors, cosmic metaphors, not pornography. If the torso were inherently obscene, it would not crown temple architecture. In classical art, Apsaras wear an antariya, a flowing lower drape, sometimes a light stanapatta, sometimes only ornament, gold chains, jewels across the chest. Stitched blouses were not the norm in early Bharata. Textiles were draped, climate-shaped clothing, technology-shaped clothing, context-shaped clothing. The absence of a blouse was normal, not scandalous. In Kumara Sambhava, Kalidasa writes, Stanabhara Namra. Devi Parvati bends slightly under the fullness of her breasts. To modern ears, that may sound bold, but in classical kavya, it is metaphor, nature imagery, sacred aesthetics. In the Gita Govinda, Jayadeva composes Bhakti Shringara. The body becomes devotional language. The aesthetic becomes transcendental. It is not consumer spectacle. It is sacred expression. The Kam Sutra begins. Dharma Artha Kama Mokshanam. Kam is one of 4 Purusharthas, a legitimate aim of life. But it is structured, disciplined, integrated within Dharma. Modern hypersexualization is detached. Classical Kam was embedded within moral order. That is a civilizational difference. When Portuguese and British observers reached Kerala, they were startled. Many women, including Nayar women, did not wear stitched upper garments. Instead, jewelry, ornamental chains, draped cloth. This was locally normal. The scandal arose in European perception, not in Kerala society. Victorian morality projected its anxiety outward. Indigenous codes of modesty were different. They did not equate the female torso with automatic sexual shame. Consider the male body. Vedic Ritviks, Kshatriya warriors, temple kings, bare chests. The Yajñopavid assumes exposure. If torso visibility were inherently sexual, male torsos would have been censored too. They were not. The dharmic aesthetic was symmetrical. It did not isolate the female chest as uniquely obscene. The modern Apsara-style blouse, like the one I am wearing now, sleeveless, backless, strapless, echoes classical sculpture. echoes Natya geometry, echoes climatic logic. It may also function as quiet resistance, a rejection of imported Victorian modesty codes, a reclamation of indigenous aesthetic categories. Not provocation, not rebellion, reclamation. The historical record is not ambiguous. Temple art, Natya theory, Shilpa canon, Sanskrit kavya, regional dress traditions, all indicate the same conclusion. The female body in Bharata was framed through rasa, shringara, saundarya, mangala, not repression, not commodification. To project modern Western sexual anxiety backward onto classical Bharata is historically inaccurate. Understanding this is not polemics, it is civilizational clarity. It is not easy to make this argument, especially as a woman. I know many will watch this and dismiss it as the ranting of a so called Western feminist. But let me say this clearly, calmly, and with conviction. I am neither a feminist nor a Westerner. I am rooted deeply in our Bharatiya culture, and I carry that identity with pride. I speak today because I want every Indian to feel that same pride, to stand tall without hesitation, without intimidation, without looking at ourselves through a Western lens. Wear your sari with pride. Wear your veshti, your dhoti with pride. Wear your bindi with pride. Wear your Mangal Sutra with pride. Wear your vibhuti and tilak with pride. Do not hide it. Do not dilute it. Do not apologize for it. Flaunt your Bharatiya culture. Celebrate your traditions. Because you do not come from a broken past. You belong to one of the oldest, most profound, and most luminous civilizations the world has ever known. So, carry your heritage with dignity, in your thoughts, in your conduct. And now, a request. If you believe that honest, research based conversations about our past matter, then subscribe to this channel today. Turn on the bell notification and share this video with anyone who wants to seriously understand the history of Bharat. Because an informed society becomes a strong society. I will see you again soon. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Vande Mataram.